Hello, welcome watching this video. Today I want to introduce you to another amazing condo project. And as I mentioned previously, right now in the city of Toronto, it is really booming and expanding. Now, if you want to know the actual data, feel free to go to my previous post where I talk about the housing price and the sales numbers, and everything just keep going up. It's no surprise that we are becoming one of the biggest and most populated city in North America, and the city is just gonna keep growing and booming. Today we have another new condo project. It's called Untitled Toronto. That's very interesting because that's actually the name. Originally I thought that they're gonna have another name, so that's why they call it Untitled. But no, it is the actual name. So I have this. As you can see on the screen, there's two sheets here. They're just very simple. The biggest feature, first of all, is real estate is all about location, 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 and this one is right at Yonge and Eglinton. And for those of you who are familiar with Toronto, you'll know that Yonge and Eglinton Midtown area right now is one of the best place. It's even better than downtown. That's where all the activity is basically. That's also one of the place that feature the most expensive house in Toronto, such as Bridle Path. Now, Yonge and Eglinton is also the place I personally go a lot because it's a place where there's a lot of bars, a lot of great restaurants, a lot of movie theaters. And just looking at these two sheets, the first thing jump out is that it's a collaboration with Pharrell Williams. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Pharrell Williams, it's a rapper. I didn't know that. I mean, I know a lot of rappers and musicians like to collaborate with other brand, but when I first saw it, I was really puzzled. Like Pharrell Williams, really? Now, I mean, if you people who don't know who Pharrell Williams is, he's the guy who sings this. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. Okay, I don't think I can play too much because it's YouTube, it's copyrighted. But anyway, that's Pharrell Williams. And just doing a little bit of research, I actually find out he actually collaborate with a lot of other name brand, such as Chanel and LV and Louis Vuitton. So if you go on YouTube, you know what? I'll put the description in my blogs and in the links. So basically, he had collaborated with a lot of no brand and companies, but this is really the first time he collaborated with condominiums. So that's something I think is very interesting, and it's very proud that he actually chose the city of Toronto to be the place. And so yeah, it is very interesting. So let's dive into and see what other features we have about these condos. So the first thing, as I already mentioned, that it is right in the Yonge and Eglinton. There's gonna be 751 units, approximately 2 towers. One is 33 story, the other one is 21. And as I mentioned many times, that when you are thinking about buying a pre-construction, the very first thing, no, I know it's cool, it's Pharrell Williams, it's gonna be hip and trendy, but the very first thing you want to absolutely make sure is the safety. What do I mean by that? Is who build or who is going to build and design this place. That's really something you have to watch out for. Now, on this sheet, you will always see they will list the developer's name, the architect's name, and the interior design firm. So what you can do is use the miracle and power of internet. It's very simple, just to do a very quick research. So I did a quick research for the IBI Group architect. They are actually very famous, very big interior design firm in the world, and they have many projects coming up. If you take a look at their Wikipedia, they actually design a lot of places. It's really a multinational place. Now they have this 41 Cooper Square. Look at this cool design. This is right in New York, and they designed the Queen Elizabeth University Hospital. Is right in Glasgow, Scotland. It's very interesting. And of course, the locally Toronto, they designed 2 TTC stations. One is the Victoria Park. They renovated that one recently, and the Pioneer Village station. So lots of successful, well-known multinational project under this architect firm, which is great. And then the interior design firm is by U31. Now U31 is also quite well known locally in Toronto. You can go to their website. Again, I'll put all the links below, and you go to their portfolio. They actually have a quite few projects that they design, which is, yeah, it's quite cool. You know, they actually designed a lot of not only condominiums, a lot of other projects. So we got those two under the belt that we make sure they are fine. The third one, the most important thing, of course, is the developers. Now, you can go online and type in Google and then search the developers. That's one method. Another one I like to do is to go to Terian. Now, many of you know, or maybe you don't know, like Terian is an organization for the builders here in Ontario. So every building has to go through Terian. Now, believe it or not, a lot of people don't know it. A lot of people think that they can buy a land and just build a house on themselves. Where in reality, yes, you can do that. You can get a building permit. But if you do not register that house before you build, or if you are not a registered builder, I'm talking about like a mom and pop. Like if you buy in a place on your own and you just wanna build a house, if you don't register that with Terian, that house is actually an illegal building. Now, the illegal building does not mean that you cannot sell it, or it does not mean it's not fit for not fit for people to live in. You can still do those things, but you are not going to have the warranty from Terian, and you are not going to be reputable, because an investor or a real estate salesperson like myself will always go on Terian to do a little bit of research before we decide to invest or have our clients and introduce the project to our clients. So that's what I do. You know, I go on Terian, and you can see that this developer, you can do further research. All you need to do is go to a Terian website, click builder directory, and you can see a lot of things. But basically, it's quite safe. They haven't had any claim. They don't have any chargeable conciliations, things like that. Now, obviously, you also want to go to Google and just take a look at news, because if any builder that were having trouble before, they will always go on news, right? Thanks to Google nowadays, everything is very transparent. So once I did all these three things, and now we can really look at the features of these projects. But just remember, that's the pattern that I personally do for myself for all my investment properties, but also it's something I do for my clients, because I definitely don't want to put people into a project that's not safe. Remember safety first, because you're investing in pre-construction. That means it's gonna take years before you can see the actual building. So the only thing you can rely on is the architect, it's the interior designer, a design firm, and the developers. So these buildings, it features 750 units approximately, and then range from studio to 3 bedroom. All unit is gonna have a balcony, and there's a lot of cool amenity. The occupancy will be aiming at 2023 spring. Now let's take a look at the. Oh, sorry about it. Let's take a look at the PDF file that I just received from a brokerage. So I'm just gonna show you. Hold on a second. Yep, just gonna show you. Oh, not this one. Sorry. Just gonna show you some of the pictures. So as you can see, it's right at Eglinton, and that's basically the feature surroundings of these buildings, right beside the Yonge Eglinton station. And as I mentioned, Eglinton, the Midtown area, has so many shops, restaurants, and movie theater. A lot of things you can do. It's really an area that, if you're young people and you like the city vibe, definitely. I shouldn't say that, because sometimes I shouldn't group people with ages, right? Because sometimes the older generation are very hip, very cool as well. So it's a place for people who are young at heart, that if you really like this kind of city life, it's a great area. I go to this Cineplex a lot because they have a VIP theater. Now, right now in Toronto, we have many VIP theaters. Shop at Don Mills, Markham, Young in Eglinton. There's one in Mississauga and outside Toronto. But this one I particularly love because they have more than one VIP theaters, and it's usually not full because if you go to Shop at Don Mills or the one in Markham, is always full. But this one is still a nice hidden gem. I don't know why the people don't go to this VIP theater, but I really personally love it. And you can see the map. So basically, and that's Pharrell Williams, right? That's how he's doing these things right now. So yeah, it's a pretty cool building. You can see the pictures. I'm going to put everything in my blog in the link below. So it is a very nice place. Amenity, they will have a swimming pool, both indoor and outdoor. They will have a basketball court. They will have, I think, a patio for barbecues, so things like that. Now, another thing, if you want to see, I found a great website that is not from the builders, because if you obviously go to a builder's website, they will only feature something nice. But you can always go to BlockTO. BlockTO is something I personally like to use. You go to BlockTO, like this website, and they will basically, I will put a link below. Yeah, so new Pharrell Williams new condo complex in Toronto, right? So you can go to BlockTO. It's a very nice article, very, very good. Feature a lot of things. So how much is it? Now, that's the most important thing, right? Because if you, whatever how good it is, if it's gonna cost something that's out of your budget, then there's no point. But the reason I really like this one is, guess how much is it? It's actually starting with 400K. So 400K is right now like the lowest price for a pre-construction condominiums in Toronto. Okay, so when you compare a price of the real estate, obviously the city and the location will play a big part. But this one particularly has such high-profile name designers and architect firm, and also have a celebrity's name in it, and it's only starting at 400,000. So that is something that's really, really not expensive, to be honest with you. And I'm not just saying it because I'm saying it. I'm saying it realistically, it's not expensive as a pre-construction condominium project. Now, a lot of people don't like pre-construction project in Toronto because they think it's so expensive. And that is true. The pre-construction condominiums price have gone up significantly from the past few years, but so does every other properties in Toronto. It is because the city is growing. Guys, as I mentioned in my previous link, Toronto is growing and is really becoming one of the biggest city in North America and in the world. But this one really is only starting at 400,000. I think it's a great deal. And basically the pricing structure is as a regular condominium. You have 5% here, 5% there. Now, if you want to know more about the pricing structures and the incentives, please do let me know. You can contact me anywhere from my Facebook, my website, blogs, email me, call me, whatever you want to do. Just reach to me, and we can talk more about the pricing structure. I cannot guarantee the availability of the unit because, as you know, these things come and go. We can only sell whatever we have in our stocks. So basically, let's say just a nice, very little nice project that is coming up now and completed in 2023. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will again put all the links below, and so you can read it. If you don't like to watch a video, just read it. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful evening for the rest of your Sunday. Thank you. Bye-bye.